best moment was probably telling Seven Brown after 3 days of school that the honeymoon was over and that I was looking to probably throw a few of them out.
What's the best moment? That's the old cliche, the best moment is you get a bit of knowledge through, you talk about a news item or something and it gets through and people are interested. I suppose it's the old game of trying to spark enthusiasm. I think it's the old teacher's cliche of, what is it? You sow a seed. I think it's you sow an acorn and from the acorn a mighty oak will sprout.
I guess the best moment will be when you all leave.
My favourite moment was in year 10 when Sam Meyer got his forces of motion test back, looked at his result, which was excellent, looked up at me and said with this amazingly surprised look on his face, "I don't believe it. I did loads of work for this and I've done really well." Like it was some kind of surprise. And after that, he did really well. And that was good. That was my best moment.
Memories of this year group. Well, this year group are very, very special to me because they started when I started at Sutton Grammar. So I've been here ever since they were in year 7. And I must say it's been wonderful. They're my favourite year group, obviously, because they are so wonderful. And we've had the best times, especially teaching A-level literature to this year's year 13, as well as being wonderful students. They've also been a lot of fun, and now Taryn told me not to say this, but they've definitely put the band into Lit B1. Thank you.
Best moment with year 13 is probably the Brussels trip in general. Lots of really funny stuff, particularly when the boys rinsed Mr. Marshall for about 10 minutes about meeting his friend in Brussels Central Square. That was really nice. And just the trip in general, they were really funny.
It's quite tricky, I think. Some of the best moments, I think probably, I don't know, cup final for your year group in year 10, and Joe Allen clearing it off the line in the last minute with an overhead kick. That was a pretty good moment.
The best moment was seeing the Young Enterprise team get through to the South London finals, and they should have done really, really well. The other best moment was seeing one of the Young Enterprise students, Vikesh, selling the product to lots and lots of, it seemed to be females in Sutton High Street. He seemed to have a very good way of dealing with sales, did Vikesh. Well done, Vikesh.
The best moment, I think, was the year 12 induction that I had with my form. If you remember, we had this play, and Thoran was the lead actor. He pulled off a good job. And,
Best moment? No idea.
Oh, the best moment, and always lots of people being friendly and always coming along to DT asking for different things to be done, even though they don't do DT. So they're really good, always.
Well, I've got probably quite a few good moments. I reckon I enjoyed GCSE revision sessions. I remember sending Noah and Seb to Farm Foods to pick up ice creams. I scored 2 goals against the second 11 in the old Suts games against Danny Whittaker, and my second one was a screamer deflected off Joe Allen, so that was a particular highlight. But I should probably pick out some form moments. I've got as 8 or 9 Blue, I think, winning the house drama, and Daniel Emery's performance was great. The year 9 swimming gala, where we put all our weakest swimmers in all the top races. Operation Sacrificial Lamb, we called it. I think Ibrahim Kasim nearly drowned doing the butterfly in the A race, so that was good.
Worst moment? Well, there was a Spanish trip in year 8 where I think Jack Lane Brownsword mercilessly killed a spider, and Charlie Collin, along with a number of other people, had to perform a burial ceremony with an epitaph for said spider, which was, you know, quite a bad moment for Jack. I think he's going to look back on in time as being something to think about in the time to come, yes.
My worst moment, I won't say too much about it, but I think it has to be seeing the dress sense of the SGS lad pack on the geography field trip. It was truly horrifying.
Worst moments, there would have been times when probably with my year 11 group, some of them drove me nuts. I won't mention any names, such as we're form tutors.
Well, I've discussed this at length with Year 13, and we've decided that I can't possibly tell you those because it would be berating and victimising a student, and as everybody knows, I'm far too nice to do that.
Well, I was probably realising that I couldn't throw 5 or 6 of them out in that first week. That was probably a low moment for me.
Worst moment? That's really hard to put a finger on a worst moment because all the moments are good. For some reason, Eddie Evans is popping into my head, but I don't think I can think of a particular worst moment, Eddie Evans. Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
The worst moment was when you all came in.
Worst moment? No idea. Next question.
The worst moment was throwing the key up to the balcony, and for you guys to open the door, and it landing in the gutter on the roof.
The worst moment was the South London Enterprise Finals, when clearly we beat everyone, and the judges thought that we hadn't beaten everyone. And then, when we walked back in from the auditorium at Trinity School, for everybody else in the whole place to give us a round of applause, that told us that we were the people's champion.
Probably some of my worst moments were supplied by... Can I mention names?
Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't want to embarrass Dan Allard or anybody, or Matt Cook, I mean, because they kind of get upset about that sort of thing. So I wouldn't want to say that they were my best and worst moments. They just were, okay? Probably some of the most enlightening things came from people like Robbie McCann, Mark Turner. I mean, I learnt a lot from that class. Mostly, I learnt how to laugh.
Worst moment is probably teaching year 13. Trying to do some fun lessons with them and then just absolutely ruining it because they're awful, but still funny at the same time.
Worst moment? Oh, I thought I would never come back here after that moment. It was really, really awful. Somebody shouted, "Oh, sir, Richard's cut his finger." I said, "Oh." So what's happened? So anyway, we saw blood everywhere, and I thought, oh, I felt for the worst, and I thought, oh, no, we can't. Where is he? Oh, he's here. Where is the cut? It's only a tiny, minute cut, but the blood was everywhere. It's incredible.
I guess you're wondering why I've been called to address the leavers from your school. It's not as strange as it seems, because I have a godson who works at your school. You may know him as Mr. Leonard. Teaches some ridiculous subject, psychology, I think. What's psychology any use when you're pushing a button on somebody? Anyway, never calls me Godfather, never shows me the respect that I deserve until the day he wants a favor. Then he comes to me, "Oh, Godfather, I can't make it to talk to the boys when they leave. I can't even make it to the meal. So, Godfather, can you fill in for me? Well, on the day of my daughter's wedding, I have to fulfill every request. So this is why I'm here. Anyway, he's asked me to tell you the best moment in the year was, again, it shows what a wasteful life he's had, playing basketball every Friday morning at 7:30. 61 years of age, still running up and down like a kid. The worst moment, he tells me, is when the sixth form centre was levelled. Broke his little heart. I did feel sorry for him. And that's why I agreed as well that I'd be here. He asked me to say the worst child in the year, someone called Marshall. I don't know if you know Marshall, but he's always late for class, never does his work on time, always has excuses, always on holiday. Anyway, this is what I've been asked to pass on to you. I hope you all go and have a wonderful life. And my godson sends his best wishes to you all. Ciao.
You asked me about the funniest moment? Well, Eddie Evans was the funniest moment. He was an ongoing, hysterical moment all the way through. He managed somehow not to do anything and seemed so positive about it that I actually felt that he deserved not to have done anything. It was ridiculous for me to have asked him to do anything. Eddie Evans was really funny.
The funniest moment always has to be the start of this season, Dan Whittaker playing in goal for the third 11. It's a bit like Cinderella, he's always going to miss the ball. Well done, Dan.
Geography field trip, Ben Cook and Will Gardner going straight in the river up to their waists while they were wearing shorts and Wellingtons. That was pretty funny.
Year 7 German trip, there's quite a few funny moments, Phantasialand particularly. Remember George Sibthorpe-Protz nearly getting in a fight with a number of German teenagers as a result of them pushing in the line for he was trying to get off on the diving board. And me having to break up a fight almost on my first ever school trip with your year group. So that was quite an amusing moment at that moment in time, yes.
There were many, many funny moments. There were great moments, there were great lads. It was a great year group.
My funniest moment, in fact, involves one of those students again. It's Josh Perrin, and he decided at an Old Suts, after the Old Suts games a couple of years ago, to follow my personal Twitter account right in front of me before realising that he had an enormous amount of inappropriate content on his own Twitter that he probably shouldn't have shared with me. So that was quite funny.
All the times I had the GCSE class, which is Seb Elledge and Noah Jervis and Isaacs and Connor and Rowlinson, that group, fantastic group, great, just pretty much most lessons. Laughing with them or laughing at them.
Funniest moment? Year 13? No idea. Next question? A couple of things. On the Brussels trip, Mr. Marshall being taunted with the Brussels friends in between his impression, that was quite funny. But also Sam Roberts' French answers in my history exam. I think it was year 9 history. His pidgin French answers. That was quite funny. And the subsequent detentions that followed.
Funniest moment, I think, is when Charlie Connor, he actually wanted to say something. We stood there for another 15 minutes listening. So that was a good one.
Yeah, there haven't been any funny moments whatsoever. You're not very funny either.
Too many to pick from. The top contenders, James Lewis, Van Peer, and obviously Charles Connor.
To mention, I can't mention all of them, but there certainly was Dan, Matt.
Well, there are 2 students actually that I've taught right the way through, ever since they were in year 7, every single year. So I have to say that these are my most annoying students, and they are Charles Connor and William Gardner.
I didn't teach Eddie for very long, just 1 year, but no, I can't think of any names instantly.
Oh, I can't say there is anybody who's annoying as such, but No, no one's really annoying. They can forget what to do, but they're not annoying.
Noah Jervis, without a doubt.
Just got an idea about that one. The most annoying student? Oh, blimey. How many do you want? There must be so many from year 13. Actually, no, I think most of year 13 quite superb. Good luck with the future.
That's a tricky one. There's quite a lot of annoying students. You got Charlie Connor, who comes in late carrying 15 folders into your lesson, juggling things, but he's fairly annoying, but not too bad. Leon Dom, I guess, you know, for being in that bad group way back when. I know he's always been a little bit annoyed by that, but I think overall it's got to be Matt Healy for at the age of 18 still getting picked up by his mum and dad's car right outside the school gate. That's really annoying still after all these years.
It's annoying people. I think it would be invidious, actually, to name any one person in a year group that contains such a vast range. Matt Gardner's annoying. Joe Allen, every time he edited the Sutton, he kept wanting me to make decisions. Charlie's annoying with his permanent enthusiasm. Gelasso, cheerful, annoying. Mark Turner, always around with his flipping camera, annoying. Everyone, really.
Most annoying teacher?
I don't believe teachers can be annoying, can they? They're just lovely people who want the best for everyone.
Yourself?
What, as the most annoying teacher?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have to really work with myself. I am myself. Yes, if I had worked with me, I'd find myself patient, benevolent, kind, thoughtful. No, not annoying, no.
Most annoying student? I suppose I just want to mention on geographical ability, Daniel Allard, who sadly is no longer here at the school, but no student had ever got a grade E before, but Daniel Allard, through his own, enormous work ethic, managed to get a grade E. In terms of most annoying student, Michael Kim would be right up there. He knows why, but I'd have to say Noah Jervis.
Most annoying student? Wow. Sure, he won't mind me saying that Jay Patel is certainly up there. I think teaching him in year 10 and 11, he had to be moved constantly in a lesson, and there ended up being nobody that you could sit next to. He had to sit on his own for most of year 11. However, what was his name again? That wasn't he head boy or something? That Charlie Connor. Yeah, him. God, he's so annoying.
Oh, now would I want to say that? Is it diplomatic? Well, I will tell you one thing. I have been most impressed, if I might say so. A name that immediately comes to mind is Matthew van der Peer. And I'll tell you why young van der Peer comes to mind. Because I will confess that there were moments when I was a year 11 green form tutor when Mr. van der Peer did not always give me 100% concentration. I have to admit there were moments when I was talking about some exciting news item of the day where young van der Peer maybe was not as fully engaged as he could have been.
The most annoying student, I'm afraid, is not with us anymore, so I can... Well, he wasn't the most... I suppose he was annoying. I had him in year 8. Matt Cook, yes, you guessed. But I did bump into him later on at a squash court when we took the kids out on activities week. And he was such a nice person, he had a good... It was a nightmare teaching him. I remember once he, out of the blue, he just punched this kid in the face. Jack Lane, it was the person at the receiving end of it.
There've been so many.
I should probably just add as well, probably my personal highlight was Matt Gardner inviting me to the Muse concert. I thought that was really nice of him.
I wish you the best in the future. And Eddie, Mark, Andrew Frost, Killian, Courtney, all great people who I'm sure have great futures in front of you. But Eddie, wow.
Any other memories you have of our year group?
No, you'll fade into oblivion almost as soon as you leave.
And finally, not that I talk a lot, as my students would say, there are, of course, just to be serious, 2 very, very important things that you have to remember for future success in your life. One is, do not ever, ever contract informal writing. Filthy, filthy habit, as I've taught you. And the other one, Just as important, remember that quote is a verb and quotation is a noun.
Actually, just film me saying, does my hair look okay? You did, didn't you? But you can't put that on video. I don't give you permission.
Okay.
Are you filming right now? No, can you stop filming and get rid of
First of all, I was a form tutor in year 10 going to 11, very fine lads, and also, if I might say so, it was a very, very fine year group. Fish. Why have I written down fish? Because if you remember right back 1,000 years ago, you were in primary school. There you were big fish, and then you came out to Sutton Grammar, and suddenly your little fish are at the bottom of the heap. And the same thing is about to happen. If you go out into the world of the unis, you're going to be fairly small fish. If you go out into the big wide world, you're a tiny fish.
And I've never seen a student eat so much junk food in the amount of time that he does. Words fail me. Words, so no, Jervis, without a shadow of a doubt.
Who is this? Is he not the most... I've never taught him, but he's already becoming the most annoying child. Who is he?
Can I ask some questions for the Leavers video?
No, you can't at all. Turn
Why?
it off.
It's not too hot now. Which is
Turn it off.
I fear that at some point I'm just going to be sitting here going,
Turn it off.
You'll be wearing shorts.
Stop it now. Sorry, just interrupted by Mr. AO3, and the A-level students will know what that means.
I will take you back to where I made you learn to love me, maybe argue too. Ring-a-ding-ding as the bluebird sings, he shuts down sunset with a flap of his wing. Much a life of sin, heart made of tin, a sharp condemnation like his heroin. Tell her I'm a lover, so she take my part in hers. Miss my style like cause I could only love a purse. Told her pair about herself, exactly what she needs, but then she started as she fell into my hand that is the pig. I will take you back to where I made you learn to love me, maybe argue too. And then the blues come running, and then it won't stop getting. And then the blues come running, and then it won't stop getting. The Amian lips at the lead of the kiss, it's the Amian kiss at the lady of miss. I thought you loved me, I thought you cared, but I'm sorry, sweetheart, but I never of that. Falling on my side and now I'm lost in my waist. Never thought I look into my heart and see a face. Got a song bad, singing song and change the air. Shadow on my skin, but don't touch me. I will take you back to where I made you learn to love me, maybe argue too. I will take you back to where I made you learn to love me, maybe argue too. And then the blues come running, and then it all stop gunning. And then the blues come running, and then it all stop gunning. So call it now, call it what you want. Cause I feel this falling, now we're moving on. And the dust moves faster on an open road. And I feel like thunder, I wanna let it go. Cause time gets wasted when you're not astray. But I don't want to play this game, so lay me down and we'll watch all the tables turn. Keep looking on, cause I don't know where we're heading now.
Maybe we like animals, running wild through this fire. Wanna take heat up, run the night, run for miles, and get it all wrong. Oh, let's get it all wrong. So catch a light to feel it beating down. When I feel the air through our body now.
Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand.
Plane on my brain, about to do the show. 40K contract, take it out the door. Dice symbolize my life, roll them on the floor. From your grubby hands as you ham and grandstand, you live a she like we live the bomb V. Hide it in the book while we watch the TV. Think you got us fooled? Who? Never again. First time, shame on me. Second time, your time will end. No way. Bang it that bitches in the wet. Shift it to Marilla. Shift it to Marilla. Bang it that. Alouette, bitches in the wet. Shift it to Marilla. when faced with decisions to fight a frequency. And you clearly decided on how to handle me. Difficile, imbecile, is it fake, is it real? Are we dying on our feet? Are we trying in our sleep? There's a rumor going around about the suits running town. If you look into the sky, dead birds fly high. We're never gonna believe in the stories that you're weaving. We're never gonna believe in the stories that you're weaving. We're never gonna believe in